Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today we are doing Midweek Magic. We did an actual sealed pool last time. We probably will never do an actual one again, but thank goodness for Midweek Magic we get to do one without actually spending any money on it. Now that said, there is a feel bad where if you do this and you get a really dud pool, you're gonna be struggling to get your 3 wins if you really want that sweet loot at the end. But Midweek Magic, not the worst thing to bomb out, if I may say so myself. That said, this is going to be a very interesting one. Just right off the bat, we can say Soulless Jailer is useless and limited. Zenith Chronicler, it's a 3-1 for 2, but otherwise, kind of. In fact, we probably would not run this because, well, you got 2 very decent gold cards. We'll start with Glissa Sunslayer. Not a Sunseeker anymore. So first strike, Death Touch in a 3/3 body for 3 mana. Pretty good rate. Actually above average. The only thing holding this back is probably the removal. If you don't have a way to at least buff the toughness a little bit more, this can be a bit of a stretch. But when it deals combat damage to a player, you can draw a card, lose a life. So destroy target enchantment, not artifact, but there are some enchantments you might want to remove. And remove up to 3 counters from target permanent, which does make sense given that red-green oil counters deck is a thing, so that one helps. This does not remove from players, so there is the caveat you're not anti-poisoning. It'd be awkward. The Phyrexia removes poison. Our other good card here is Kaito, Dancing Shadow. So whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you may return one of them, and if you do, you get to double dip on your loyalty abilities. So we want to be on the lookout for ETB effects if we go with this one. So up to 1 target creature can't attack or block until your next turn, so that's defensive. Draw a card is okay. The drone artifact creature token with Death Touch, and when it leaves the battlefield, so there's your synergy. It's pretty. It kind of works in a sense. We also got an Unctus Grand Meta Tech, so this is our Grand Architect Phyrexia. So other blue creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, and then discard a card. It's the blue creatures, then artifact creatures get +1/+1, and until end of turn you can turn target creature into a blue artifact in addition. So nice double dip. We also got Blackleaf Cliffs. We'll see if that becomes relevant. We probably going into 3 colors is more reasonable here. But we'll do first we'll take a look at our multicolored cards. So we are tempted to go into we're tempted to have black of some sort, but black and or red of some sort, but the question is do we go Charforger, Sunslayer, Ravager, or Charforger, Serum Core, Chimera, Kaito? First things first, we'll take a look at our white because because this one does look like the flattest of the bunch, and I will say that yeah, that's probably it. Bladed Ambassador, 1 shot indestructible, okay. Get to draw a card if that's toxic. We don't have that many toxic creatures here in white. In fact, we only have like 2 plus a token if we get it, so about 3 air quotes. It's a bit all over the place, so we can safely dismiss white. Let's take a look at our black or red and red, so we can see which one would be our main color here. And let's see. Usually the first thing I do is look at the removal suite, and okay, black is actually quite decent. 3 copies Anoint with Affliction, Drownwind Ichor, Sheoldred's Edict. We definitely will be fitting black here. Now, the caveat is we want to find some way of getting poison counters, so a little toxic is pretty good. We have Stinging Hive Master, Pestilence Siphoner, so those are good starts. Scrap Trap, it's fine. So, let's then take a look at our red, discuss our other main color. And let's see. Hazardous Blast. Sure. We got 2 Hex Gold Slash, which is good against and a volt charge. So we're definitely running black-red. Whether we run a splash color on top of it is the other story. We'll also take a look at our colorless, because that's where most of our mana fixing is going to be. Got a Dune Mover. No Terramorphic Expanse, which is a shame. But we do have a Dune Mover. Atraxa Skitterfang is actually quite good. Custodians, right? Not really needed. The Rib Skip is a bit questionable also. But that's it. I am liking red, though it's a bit more all over the place. It's not as good as the red I opened last time, but it is pretty solid. Now let's take a look at green. Let's see if we can go oil counters. Now the thing that held us back last time is basically the lack of mid-range drops, and we're probably seeing the same problem here. We only got 2 Lattice Blade Mantis as our medium drop. Everything else is way too expensive. We could air quotes splash 1 for the Glissa, but I don't really see a reason. Like, we only got 1 Rustvine Cultivator. We don't have the 1 mana basic land search card. A little bit of Proliferate, but yeah, we're not getting into green. Let's take a look in blue. There isn't much toxic here, but we're kind of we do have a Thrumming Bird, so if we can get started, that's Proliferate. Serum Snare, that's also a Proliferate. Decent counter spell. We can give ourselves temporary toxic. We can kind of draw cards through if we go Unctus. And we also got 2 Mesmerizing Dose, though this one is a bit awkward. We need to decide which one our main colors are. I can see, and we'll have to double check, but the good news is our black is all one color drop, so we can easily play this. We'll run all the removal and both toxic creatures. Run the Edict. Don't really need the Immortality here. Fleshless Gladiator. We probably will just lean on blue and red for our creatures. See if that works. Cutthroat Centurion. Is this a set? Charforger is interesting. I don't think we have enough creatures for the sack, but let's see if we can go for it. And let's see, the Hexgold Slash. We can do Furnace Skull Bomb to insta dump oil counters, but trying to avoid doing that if we can. Blazing Crescendo, it's a combat trick. Number of permanents you control with oil counters, not that many. There's the Volt Charge. Here's a way to get ourselves oil counters. We just don't have a really good... Okay, there's a Serum. The Serum Core Chimera could be a payoff. Urabrass Anointer. This is damage to any target, so if we can start spreading, it's fine. Probably run the Chimney Rabble here. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, we are kind of loaded on non-creatures, so this might work. Also gives us a cheap creature to sacrifice if ever, though we don't exactly have many. Our only sacrifice outlet's the Cutthroat. Whenever it attacks, it gets equal to oil counters. I guess we can run that. Not so sure about the Hazardous Blast, but definitely running the Anointer. We'll add the land too. Definitely have to add the Dune Mover. Probably not running the Zenith Chronicler. Let's take a look at our blue. Okay, actually, let's take a look. Yeah, we have an Autonomous Furnace. We're gonna run that. We're currently main black, and I'm fine with it. We can run blue for just the Spell Bomb, and probably not Unctus. This enters with a bunch of oil counters, so this kind. Actually, in that case, let's add the oil counter synergy here. That would be Magmatic Sprinter, Cacophony, Scam for Proliferate. We could easily just run the 1 blue for Kaito. And I don't really feel like running anything. The Kaito and the Serum Core Chimera. Actually, now that I think of it, okay, Chrome Prowler is a decent card to fit in here. It'll help justify the three islands. I'm still probably gonna cut it down to 2. Most likely I'm going to run this as just the 2 blue, run something else with it. Draw Skull. Let's do a curve check. Yeah, we barely have any creatures, so we might just have to run 1 Barb Battle Fist as a creature. So let's do a check. 11, 12. We're actually now more main red. Could we cut some of the black cards? No, we barely have any black cards. It's mostly for our removal. This is pretty much a main red build. Maybe we could cut an. You know what? I'll start with this one first. We'll see how this one pans out. This is not as powerful as our last build. Yeah, having two Praetors really broke that sealed pool. We had no such luck this time. So we're gonna see, and we have no such luck on the synergies also. If we're in black-red, it's supposed to be the sacrifice deck, we're barely there. Blue-black, it's the proliferate there, we're barely there. I will keep this. We do have turn 2 Siphoner, Edict back up. Unfortunately, the Anointer doesn't do anything if we don't have a permanent with poison up oil counters. We do have a few, just not that many. But yeah, we're definitely gonna lead a bit on this. Now if I had the Terramorphic Expanse in addition to the Dune Mover, I would just go sink 1 island. Well, Blackleaf Cliffs is fine too. No need to run this one right away. It's not like we have a very good use for Pestilence Siphoner. Now with this one, I can do so. I can do. Let's offer the trade. I kind of goofed up there. We were supposed to offer the. We were supposed to do Scamp into Edict. And so that was a huge flub. Phyrexia Arena means they're not going. But yeah, the flub is really bad here. We're going to sacrifice a non-token creature. Might as well attack. Though since I'm playing this, I know there's an argument for me not attacking. Just remove the oil counter, play this, remove the oil count. So there is a trick with this one. We can go Kaito. Kaito can, if our opponent say plays a creature like this one, can't attack or block. So we're gonna kind of waste the oil counters here, which is a big problem. Yeah, I guess we can return it. And yeah, let's do the drone. Now the nice thing with Saw Blades, so we're gonna see if we can sequence this. Unfortunately, this is a 2/4, so we're not gonna be able to Volt Charge it. We're not gonna be able to Volt Charge that either. But it's what we can do And now because this is return one of them, so if I attack with this, I'm forced to return it. Now I could choose not to return it, and I probably won't. So what I can do is I can play the Scamp. I can also play the Stinging Hive Master, but I'm more than likely to just leave it back. Yeah, we'll leave it back. That said, if our opponent starts hitting their big green 6-drops, we are in trouble. The good news is our opponent only has one green source, right? Okay, never mind. They hit their second green source. Kaito can only hold this guy back so much. Ooh, no, that's really bad. That said, we can chump with the Scamp. Volt charge this one. Yeah, submit there. Then might as well activate the ability since the Scamp's gonna die anyway. Well, I was same here if you ask me. Definitely gonna start unloading our creatures here. Now, our opponent could have given it that touch, but I don't. Yeah, they were not expecting the Volt charge, so Serum Core Chimera not really gonna do much here. Now I could return it just to gain the 2 life, make the creature again. In fact, I will. And yeah, since we don't really have any other combat effects, we're just gonna unload. Opponent is kind of going off with the Phyrexia Arena. What? Not anymore. Looks like Kaito kind of saved our bacon there. Without the Kaito locking down a creature every turn, we were not gonna make it. So that was a pretty solid win. It is kind of concerning also because it means that this might be the future draft, and I'm already sick and tired of Brothers War being a Prince format. I'm really scared that this is going to be a Prince format again. I will say that I will say that there are some decks that are really synergistic and we can get away with it if the draft lines up. I'm looking at white-red. I'm looking at red-green. But the quality of bombs can still wreck us. We're not keeping this. No play until turn 3. All our removal needs 1 red mana. We're just going to take the mulligan. This one's definitely keepable. We'll probably give up the Cackler. No, this is probably the worst place to put oil counters. Now, that said, no, I am gonna just hold back here. That way the Sawblade Scamp can block, trade with the tokens. We can still ping for 1. If they have a combat trick, I'm gonna force them to use it now. Okay, no combat trick. Just activate. No, they probably have a 2-drop. No, they probably have another 1-drop. This is probably... Okay, this is the worst possible one. So we're gonna play the Hive Master first because this one can get haste anyway. It is a bit awkward. I'm gonna have to play this, put the oil counters on this guy, so that if we do go Urbrask's Anointer, this one cannot protect itself. It can only protect another creature, which is the good news. The bad news now is that if I were to try to block this one, this is gonna eat it. Well, we did get the Blackcleave Cliffs. And so now this is where we, air quotes, cross our fingers that our opponent does not have a direct removal spell for this, and green has quite a few, so we're gonna pass, return it back. I'm gonna see how it goes. If our opponent has any sort of trick to buff this guy, we are not get... Okay, using it right away. We'll take the 1 toxic hit. Actually, this gives toxic 1, so... Also, though... well, can't be blocked. Okay. Ooh, opponent did not have it. Let's see, also this can only be activated as a sorcery, so we'll probably be taking damage a different way. Yeah, they had the Infectious Bite, so that's kind of a whiff. Yeah, we don't have it anymore. So what could we do? We're gonna be taking a hit here. Honestly speaking, I don't think we have an out. We used up our cards on this one, and we weren't able to trade. Yeah, we're gonna concede this one. This one's a bit premature, but Skrelv is, if you can't kill it immediately, you are not going to win. Now, thankfully, we do have an Edict effect, but it's kind of not gonna work in the board state our opponent is now. We'll just have to accept that as it is. Hello? Okay, sige, tanse. Hold on a sec, I'll be right back. Looks like there's a delivery. Just a delivery of automotive wipes. Let's keep going. Yeah. Actually, the reason we're getting them is because they're very, very useful in cleaning stuff around, and we're able to get them on the cheap. So why the heck not? Okay, this is usually the problem with 3-color decks. If you happen to be missing one of the key colors, it's over. Yeah, we got the Kaito, but we're not doing anything unless we hit black. We're gonna take them all. Okay, this one we can keep. We can bin one of the mountains. Yeah, we needed to... On that last one, we could have hit us... We had a lot of removal options, but we were so far behind at that point that it was not worth it. I will say that us not having... Us not having much in the way of double mana is actually quite good here. Ooh. I guess I'm willing to pass on this. It's the next creature that concerns me, not this one. That said, we're also going to want to try to see if we can start getting Toxic down as soon as possible. Okay, now this is a good target. We'll take the 4. That's fine. And this is, as long as this is on the battlefield. So, what are we going to do? We're going to remove it from the battlefield. I guess I could have swung first, but it's so unlucky. Now that I think of it, I could have swung first, gotten both. Not Toxic, so it's only +1/+1. I am willing to trade these. Let's see if our opponent's willing to trade. Nope, not trading this Porcelain Zealot. I kind of want to play this so that I can get another land, but I think the realistic one is play the Cutthroat Centurion. We're just one poison counter away from leading on Toxic. Yep, we're not going to win. That's an Elish Norn. We will need to hit removal. We will need to hit this third poison counter first and foremost. That said, if our opponent swings with that, and the nice thing about this is a death trigger, so we're still going to get our might. Unfortunately, I can't really swing at any of these. I really need to hold back. Yeah, we're gonna hold back. Yeah, we don't need the land, at least, so that's the good news. So, well, we could have said no anyway, so that wouldn't... It's a shame that we can't sack more than once, but might not... Again, if we can't answer the Elish Norn, we're not getting anywhere. This has Vigilance also, which is we really should have gone for the... Opponent tries to block, we take it up. We take it out. Wow, our opponent was able to unload everything. Now, thankfully, this does have Summoning Sickness, but our opponent's probably going to give that flying. Actually, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's going to give it flying. If our opponent swings with it, though, that means we can swing back. There's an Anoint with Affliction, which... Yeah, this also has Vigilance, which is a problem. We really need that one more counter on. Hold on, and this is combat on your turn, so I don't have to worry about it. Let's see how the opponent blocks. His opponent can... Now, us playing this means they probably won't suspect we have another one. Okay, they do suspect. That's where they're chumping everything. But we at least do get to trade these off. So if we do hit the Edict and our opponent doesn't have another creature, we can clear the board. Never mind, they have a Lightbringer. Has Ward 2, so... Well, if we hit our Volt Charge... Yeah, we have to block. Yeah, our opponent they didn't exactly have much in the way of card draw. They just happened to hit everything they needed. So let's see. I'm gonna crack this to draw a card. Technically, I could have left one of each color, but oh, we did draw the full charge. Might as well submit that, but yeah, this is over. We're not. We seem to be having despite the amount of removal we have, we are having problems here. Unfortunately, the pool is not really good for this is probably the weakness of sealed pools. Like if you want to get a good amount of toxic, let's see. If we wanted to aim for toxic, could we shift over to black, red, green? And the answer is realistically no. Though, because our only creature with toxic is over here, toxic 6. Can we shift over to white? Realistically, no. We only have 2 toxic creatures, and both of them are mid-range. We don't exactly have much more in the way of removal. We actually need more creatures. If I could cut, we have lots of removal, but a lot of it is very conditional. We actually need quite an amount of it because we're using non-creature spells to fuel our Serum Core Chimera, which we still haven't got to yet. But yeah, we're just gonna have to accept that if we don't have Shieldred's Edict, we're not gonna be able to answer a really big bomb. We can just probably concede right away. But I can say I'm happy I opened this pool here. Okay, definitely keeping this one. It's nice. It'll be nice to hit. The Chimera is okay, but this is really more for dedicated. If anything, as I said before, sealed pool is a good way to get a lot of cards. You're relying on, mostly from the 6 packs. It's not a really good way to. Actually, you get the 6 packs, you get an additional 3 packs. That's if you pay the 2,000 gems. So that one's guaranteed. Then everything you're making back is basically how much are you returning for your entry fee. If you're going for pure entry fee, you need 6 wins. And realistically, if I were to say that this was my sealed pool, I'm in real trouble. I've only 1 win and I'm 1 loss away from X-treeing. So not a good look. Also not a good look is our opponent not doing anything. Have we disconnected? No, technically you can't click on this one. It's still asleep. Yeah. Okay, this is suspicious. I don't... Oh no, opponent finally takes a mulligan. Okay. They're still alive. They're still alive. Yeah. I'm already now considering going heavy blue instead of heavy red now. I'm willing to give it a shot after this game. Just take a look. Because the Sawblade Scamps, they get oil counters, but otherwise this is a very... It's fine as a Raging Goblin. Yeah. Opponents... taken the mulligan and now dropped off the face of the earth. Looks like... okay. Nope, they're still there. Must be a really agonizing decision. Okay, see green. Draw Skull Bomb. Now, because we're nowhere near getting corrupted, if our opponent plays a creature, the first thing I will play is Anoint with Affliction. This one being an instant effect is nice because if our opponent were to say double barrel on creatures, there is a caveat on this though. Looks like our opponent is aiming to just crack it to draw a card. Okay, I guess. The longer I can hold out on this and drop this before casting these, the better. Yeah, I guess we have an option now. I can now swing with the Scamp, see if our opponent has removal for this. Then we can play Dune Mover. Though, not sure if I really want to hit another land. We don't exactly have 5 drops. Yeah, we probably... I would probably adjust this, maybe cut some of the 1 drops, add some 5 drops here. Yeah, with this, I'm gonna... get another mountain here. See if our opponent does have removal at last. But yeah, the plan is Serum Core Chimera. Thankfully, it dodges Anoint with Affliction. Then, when our opponent does start firing cylinders, we can kind of fire back. Opponent hasn't even cracked this yet, which means they still have plays. I will also note that it does get awkward if our opponent plays a creature, because I really want to play this first. Yeah, we'll play this first. No rush. Our opponent could hit us, give us 1 poison counter. It's kind of fine in these colors. Black has a little proliferate, green has a little proliferate. It's not super into... Actually, green has more proliferate. Blue has even more. Yeah, they probably have a fight spell, which would be annoying. No, Staying Hive Master. Okay, it's not the fight spell yet. So we'll take that hit. Okay, double Anoint now. So... does our opponent have a 1-mana combat trick? Yeah, unfortunately, we are a ways away, so we are gonna do the other Anoint. We're gonna do it now. No, this one is awkward that we will need to draw a non-land deck if we want, let's say, cast this, activate this. Though we could draw a non-land off the top. This one at least hits any target. Oh no, target creature or planeswalker. So this is actually awkward. And, well, speaking of awkward, the opponent going to drop a 4/4, which we can edict. Creature token. This does hit planeswalkers, so... yeah, but I don't want to just play it. Okay, it's a you may, so... okay, so we whiffed on that one. Thank goodness we were able to answer that Nissa, having lots of removal, but now we're kind of blank already. Really unfortunate that we hit a land off that. If I had hit a non-land card, I would have pitched that, pinged here, swung with the Scamp instead. Ooh, unfortunate. Let's see, do they have the other green source? Staying Hive Master, they don't. Well, we're flooding now, so... there's more battle gear. Now, I could just hold this back in defense. Swing first. Yeah, we can swing first. Because, yeah, the Phyrexia Horror doesn't really do anything to our Chimera. So if push comes to shove, we can actually just move the Battle Fist. Now, our opponent probably has removal at this point, but... Oh, they're going to be in... Oh, they do have removal. Okay, I guess we're doing it the slow way. Now, yeah, I don't want to risk getting corrupted quite yet, so we're going to trade. This is interesting now. If we play this one... Actually, we win. So first we're going to cash this. Discard a non-land card. No, because it doesn't really matter here. This is a sorcery though. Might as well cast it. And play the land because we have a quest. There we go. We managed to survive Nissa. Though that one was on the back of having way too much removal in our pool. Ooh, it's actually getting dark now. Actually, so let's turn this on. There you go. Whoops, light fell down. Let's not accidentally click the off recording because I still have one more game to play. Nah, this looks horrible. I'll be right back. I don't know why I was trying that. And yeah, looks like we're going to end up having to retry. I guess Arena's popular again? Well, which means they should be getting more servers anytime soon. You can tell that a set's popular by how many times they're having problems with their servers. I guess that's true for almost every game. Though I'm actually going to do a check. So you just search MTG Arena server status. They have an IO page you can check out. And it says that everything's operational. There was the game maintenance a while yesterday, which will explain why everything's which could explain why there are issues here. Usually, yeah, that would explain why there might be some issues here. So, guys, just be patient here. Maybe I could technically call this episode already, but we do have one. We really want to get that one more game. If the server will let me. What do I do in the meantime while I'm waiting here? Yeah, cause this one, yeah, it didn't connect at all. Okay, guys, so I'll try closing it and opening it again. So give me a second. Yeah, just let's look for a game to capture. I hope this doesn't happen when I stream Pokemon Unite weekly later. Okay, let's see if it does pan out now. Okay, we're back here. So let's claim that prize. Okay, so we hit our Okay, we got our Dune Mover to get our blue land, so we will keep this one. We have Anoint with Affliction when we need it, though. Let's see if our opponent has a creature we want to remove. Axiom Engraver. Remove, destroy. Actually, okay, not too worried about that. Opponent goes for their Terramorphic Expanse. If they hit us for 1, I'm perfectly fine with it. They're actually incentivized not to hit us. They're going to sack to this, which is, oh, that's fine. They spent a card, remove our card. We still get the land that we need. We get hit for 1. Oh no, we're not getting hit for 1. We can actually wait on the Anoint. If our opponent wants to discard draw, I'm fine with it. This might stinks a little bit of reanimation, but so far not looking like that. We are a bit in trouble if our opponent starts playing 4 drops though. No, that's fine. We get a poison counter, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, we got our Drown in Ichor, so probably play the other. Opponent might have removal for this, which would be annoying, but at least we tried to set up for the advantage. Opponent goes. Oh. Thank goodness Drown in Ichor is not about proliferating. And it's not direct damage. And we get free counter off it in the process. Now it's a shame we don't have Toxic, so we're not going to be able to. So we're not going to be able to aim. Opponent discarding Trill. I guess Trill is fine, but in reality, not so much a fan of it. So we're going to see what we hit off this one. I know I will be casting this one to get. Okay, does our opponent have a Proliferate card? No, they just went to unload. So probably not going to crack this one quite yet. Take the hit there first. There's a Charforger. So let's see. Let's see if we hit. Yeah, we're going to pitch the Cutthroat Centurion. If our opponent plays another reasonable creature, I will just anoint with Goblin Skull Trap. Okay. I'm gonna wait it out a little bit. I don't have a reason to fire this off right away. At least I'm still able to hit up in the air. Yeah, our opponent had some Proliferate synergies there. Not casting it yet. There's a Hexgold Slash, but these don't have Toxic. This only hits target creature, so there's a bit of Black Sun's Twilight. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't just. Oh, if we had one more poison counter, we could exile this and nuke it. Man, that was brutal. Yeah, we actually... And actually now we won't be able to answer that. I'm actually going to concede this one right away. We won't be able to remove Solfim if they go for it again. So that was a bit of a hurt there. We really needed to... Ironically, in that case, what we should have done was actually kept the contender. We would have been able to sacrifice our creature to blanket. So we kind of goofed up on that one. Okay, let's go for this again. We have Scamp into Edict into Volt Charge. And we can play Centurion if we need to. Yeah, we can play Centurion instead of Volt Charge. Okay, no rush, I guess. Opponent is currently playing blue-black. I wonder if they're playing additional colors. Blue-black by itself. It's Proliferate. They got us started. They'll just need 9 more shots of Proliferate. Let's see what their response to this one is. Actually, if that's their case, I don't need to play another creature. I'm just gonna let this keep going. Necrosquito. So we can play a second Scamp. And, well, opponent concedes. I think they were all in on that. Don't tell me they were all in on that one creature. There's no way they would... Well, they might have suspected that I have more removal, but removal is... It's there. It's a bit conditional, so it's not very solid. But some of it's quite good. Hey, art style for a card that I'm probably never going to use. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. Looking back at the sealed pool again... Yeah, it's super awkward here. Well, I kind of expected not having nothing in white, but we kind of were a bit all over the place. I guess one change we could have gotten was fitting the Furnace Strider in somehow. Fitting the Cacophony Scamp also kind of works too. It is, but we would have needed more sacrifice payoffs than just the 2 Cutthroat Centurions. Not the worst. In fact, if I, let's say, played the Barb... I did have one Barb Batter Fist. If I equipped it on the Scamp, it will die, but I get to ping for 2, so that's an interesting strat. As far as this one is concerned, yeah, I really wanted to fit Glissa in, but I'm already splashing for Kaito. I kind of like the Kaito splash much more than the Cinder / Sunslayer synergy. Now, whichever one is better, you'll just have to let me know. We just happen to have way so much removal that it works better with our Serum Core Chimera. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.